What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be installing this 12.3-inch PEMP Linux head unit, not Android, in this BMW X5. This is a 2013 X5 and it has this factory screen here. So this screen is going to go out and we're going to install this. So first, let's go ahead and unbox this and then I'll go over the process and how to do this. Alright, so we have this QC pass. Then here we have the model numbers, instruction manuals, QR code, after sale support. So yeah, this is it. This is the screen that we're going to be installing. Oh look, they give you a little wrench. Oh wow, they even give you a plastic pry tool. I didn't even realize that. So we have a bunch of wires here, USB. This is the harness. And then we have the bracket. So this is the bracket that's going to hold the screen. So let's go in the car and start tearing it apart first. Alright, so I'm going to actually use this kit here. This is a plastic pry tool kit. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is remove this little vent here. So grab a pry tool, stick it under here, and just pull this out like this. And let me just turn off the car. Alright, here there are two connectors we need to remove. So one's here and one's here. And then there's another connector back here. And then lastly, we have one right here. All right, so this is out. All right, next we're gonna remove this piece. So there's two screws here that we're gonna remove, Phillips. That is in there really good. All right, I'm gonna need to grab a drill. We need a little bit more power to remove this apparently. It's in there really good. Alright, with the screws removed, now we're going to use our plastic tool and basically pry this out. It's already actually pretty loose, but just slowly pry it out. And then this side. So back here we have this little thing. You just push down and rotate this like that, and it comes out. And then these, you just got to push down on this part right here. Then it comes out. Same with this one, just gotta push down and it'll come out. There we go. Alright, just put this aside somewhere. Alright, so now we need to remove this unit right here. So to remove this unit, there's screws down here. So we're gonna remove all these screws here to take out the iDrive unit. And then of course I'm gonna put screws in a separate area. This is different. Surprised to see all Phillips screws on this, honestly. On the other cars I've worked on, they're all Torx. Alright, if everything was done correctly, I believe this should actually just come right out. There we go. Alright, so back here, there are a bunch of wires that we need to remove. Alright, so we have some wires here. For these, you just push this part in. And then once you push it in, you pull this out. Oh man, these are really in there. There we go. And then same here with this one. Go. And then this harness, there we go. So you pinch these and pull up, and then it comes right out. So that's the harness. I'll show you what to do with that in a second here. Then there's a few more wires back here. All right, so to get these three out, you need to push this little plastic piece up into the connector area like that. And then, there you go. So same here, just there we go. Now all the connectors are out, so we're gonna move this out the way for now. We are gonna still need this, so don't throw it away. Alright, next we're gonna remove the display. And to do that, there are some screws here and here. So we're just gonna remove these. Now, this will just come out like that. There are some connectors back here. So we have, I'm gonna actually route this out. So I have the LVDS connector here. You just push down and then pull it out. There we go. And then this connector. There's these tabs on the corners here. You just push them in and pull it out, and this thing is gone. You don't need this anymore, so if you like to resell it on eBay, that's always a good idea. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start the wiring process. Alright, so this is the main harness that you get with your PEMP radio. Now, if you look here, the factory radio has a fiber optic connection right here. This green wire here. So what we need to do is we need to take this wire out and actually plug it into here. So the way you're gonna do that, so you're gonna pull the clip up, and then this will come out like that. Make sure you remember the orientation. So the green one is on top, the black one is at the bottom. And basically what you're gonna do, grab the new harness. So see how it goes. It goes like this. It's gonna go in the exact same position where it was. So for us, it's gonna be here, like that. So now this will connect to the head unit in your car, and this one will connect to this right here. So I'll just do that right now to show y'all. This connects like this. There we go. Probably helps to do that. Alright, and then now you're just gonna clip it in like this. There we go. Alright, so this goes to your iDrive factory unit. This goes like that. So it's gonna, I mean, this is an X5, so there's a lot of room back there, but on the sedan cars and coupes, this is a pain in the butt, but it looks like there's enough room here. Alright guys, the aux cable, I don't know if you guys can see it, I'm stuffing it here right now because we do need to run this aux along here into the glove box. So I stuffed it in there, and I should be able to find it somewhere. There it is. Alright, there's our aux cable. So the aux cable is going to connect to this part of the harness right here. So you see here, you want to connect one side here, preferably the straight side. I'm gonna get some electrical tape and just tape these just in case. I mean, it's not gonna come out probably, but yeah, I'm gonna tape that up real quick. All right, so the aux cable's in. Just gonna go ahead and tape it a little bit. I don't want this to become loose. It's probably not gonna become loose, but this is just a little extra measure I like to do. I'm over here. So this aux cable, I'm gonna run it, this little black piece here. I'm gonna go ahead and run it inside like this. I'm gonna try to hide it the best I can. I know people don't like seeing these cables, so I'm trying to hide it in this panel, just stuffing it in. I'm gonna open this up. Now, yeah, it's barely gonna fit. It's gonna have to be like this, unfortunately. So the aux is right here, so plug it in there. Wires in, these close perfectly fine. All right, so now that we've got all the wires in, for this part at least, I'm gonna go ahead and run this through here. Just be careful. Actually, before we do that, let's run this wire through. All right, so this wire right here is gonna connect to the screen, so we need to run it through the top. So the way to do that, this little area right here is perfect for us. And we're going to do exactly that. We're going to run all these wires through here. And then we're going to go through here. It's a little crowded in this top part. Alright, so we have this here. So now we're going to put this iDrive unit back in. So it looks like we have a decent amount of room in this car, which is nice. So just carefully route all the wires. All right, finally got it in. It was a pain in the butt to get it in, but it's in. So now we're just gonna screw this in. Basically work in reverse. All right, so next, go ahead and put this piece back in. So don't forget to connect all the wires. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. Is that how many we're missing here? Let me see, make sure everything's here. Yeah, it looks like 3. Okay. So literally just, they're all different connectors. So wherever it plugs in, it's probably gonna be the right place to put it. This one, plug it in, and then this plastic clip, you just click it in like that. And then don't forget our screws here. So there's 2. One on this side, one on the other side. We have this bracket here. So we need to route all the wires for the screen through this bracket. So this is when you would connect things like backup camera and other stuff. We don't have any of those things, so we're just going to keep that back there. You don't use the old OEM wire anymore either, so you can just kind of stuff it back there, maybe tape it down somewhere. Alright, so it goes like this, and then you're going to put the original screws. OEM screws can go there. So I'm going to plug this in here. And then now, before I finish everything, I just want to mention something. So this is the USB cable. It plugs into here, and the way you would route this is you route it through here and into this little glove box area here, or through here. I'm not going to route this. They don't need USB. They're going to just use this for CarPlay and the OEM system. So for them, this is fine. No need to put extra wires, another BS in there if they don't need it. I think before we connect the screen, we need to close this first. So remember, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 wires. So just that doesn't go there. This goes somewhere. It goes down here. Down here. Yes, it does. Alright, so this is the other connector. I know these. Oh, this one goes in the middle. Okay, so this one goes in the middle. I'm going to try to connect that in there. There we go. And then black wire goes on the black side. White wire goes on the white side. And that's it. So now, let me see if I can do this, or if I was supposed to. Yeah, there we go. And then just, there we go. And then this should still work, which it does. Great. And now, we're just gonna, the screen literally just slides in, so. Alright guys, I just noticed something. So, the reason you want to use the LVDS extension cable is because it changes the orientation of the cable. So you do want to use the LVDS cable. So now you all know that you need to use the extension cable, and you don't have to do what I was doing and just trying to stick it in like that. So we're going to connect the extension cable, which goes like this. It's in, and stick it in there. And now this will change the orientation, as you can see. So now it'll actually go in. Before, there was no way it was going to go in. There we go. It's in. All right. Let's turn on the car and see if this thing even works. Spoiler alerts. Already tested everything, but there we go. Pemp. I'll show you all how to change the logo on that in a little bit. But first, let's just get this thing started. I want to show you all the... Okay. This is the main menu. They try to copy the latest BMW software, which I'm fine with. CarPlay is already working. Obviously, because I configured it. So the first thing you want to do is go to the OEM car info. You want to make sure this OEM information works. Now, the other thing you can do is you can hold the menu button down. If you hold the menu button down for a few seconds, it'll switch back to the Linux system or the original OEM system. So every OEM function still works, because at the end of the day, as far as the car is concerned, this is just an LVDS display. That's all this is to the car. So nothing really changes with the car. So the one thing we need to do is we need to go to CD Multimedia, and you need to make sure aux front is selected. And then I put the volume all the way up because I already know that this thing's going to need it. Here we go. This is the system here. So we have all these things, the EQ, USB. CarPlay is when you're going to set up your stuff. Now what we want to do is change the logo. So I want to see. Okay, so original car resolution. Just make sure you change this to the correct one. Mine happens to be correct. Auto switch to aux. Don't know which head unit I have. I guess we should see that. Force OEM full screen. Handle telemedia map option Linux. And then enter OEM. Headlight detection swap. Okay. It's not in the car settings. It has to be here somewhere. I know for sure. So you can change the display settings. I don't know what audio has. Audio just has a few things here. Microphone. EQ. This is the EQ. There's a volume. So you can change different volumes here. Wi-Fi, if you want to connect to Wi-Fi. System. Use car as Bluetooth channel. System version. Factory reset. Interesting. So it doesn't show where to do the display logo. Alright, so to update the logo, it's not as easy as the old head unit. So first of all, you need a USB formatted as FAT32. And then you need a file the size of 1920 by 720 in PNG format. The file has to be called update logo. So I went ahead and made one. This is the logo I made. It's not the best. I literally use Paint to do this. So I'm going to copy update logo, and I'm going to go ahead and put it at the root of my memory or USB. And then once I've done that, I'm going to eject the USB. Okay. So now we have a file called update logo.png on the USB. So, oh man. I didn't install the USB cable, guys. Should have done it. So now what I need to do is connect this to the screen's USB port. Now, lucky for us, the screen is very easy to remove. So USB 1 is CarPlay, USB 2 is disc. Yes, there's a difference, so make sure you plug into the right one. So I'm going to show y'all. Plug this in. Alright, and then this connects to the screen. Luckily for the screen, you can just do that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and temporarily plug in the USB, just so you guys can see the update process. Alright, so I turned it on. As you can see, it says PEMP. You shouldn't have to do anything. It should just automatically boot up and then tell you the logo was successfully changed. So let's see what happens. I'm gonna go to CarPlay. That's fine. It should automatically do the update. There we go. Update boot logo successful. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is system, and then go down to reboot. Yes, and then it should show the new logo. There we go. It's not exactly centered or the best looking logo, but it's fine. There we go. Alright, there we go. That's that. I'm going to disconnect the USB now because we're never going to use it again probably. Alright, so one thing I want to show you is you can control this with the iDrive controller. So I'm using the iDrive controller right now. There isn't much you can do on this screen. This is basically most of the apps right here. Under the setup, I'll just show y'all real quick. We have system. You can change these options here. We have smartphone, which is a smartphone list. Wi-Fi, you can change your Wi-Fi. Display, we have some display options here. Under audio, you have volume. So here's all the volumes for everything. There's an EQ, so you can change the EQ. This is the call echo cancellation, microphone gain. And then under car settings, you have reversing settings. So here for camera type, ours has factory, so we clicked original. And then this is only if you have an aftermarket camera. And then here's some options that you can do. There's also a front camera option if you have a front camera. Original car resolution, I already told you guys about this. Forced OEM full screen, this is if your resolution is less than 1280 by 720, or I guess 1280 by 480 in this case. Then this would allow it to stretch. Auto switch to aux, so this allows you to automatically go to aux mode. iDrive, so NBT CIC, they do sell one for CCC. It's not this one, but they do sell one for that. And then this one is, it handles the, I believe these are for the buttons. So if you press the buttons on the iDrive controller, it will work in Linux instead. You can enter the OEM screen after boot up here, which is nice. I'm not going to do that because, yeah. Headlamp detection, swap next song, and then what else? I think that's all the settings. Yeah, so there isn't really much you can do on this head unit. Unlike the Android ones that are feature packed, this one is very basic. So one of the nice things about this head unit is it's basic. I know that may sound kind of counterintuitive, but all of the Android head units that I've installed in all my other cars, first of all, they take a long time to boot. This thing boots super fast. Fastest than any non-OEM system that I've used. My M6's OEM system is still faster than this, but the fact that this is an aftermarket Linux solution, very fast. The other thing is, because it's simple, there's not too many things that you need to do. The audio does not sound bad. The biggest problem with all these aftermarket units is the audio becomes crap. The audio was a little bit better in the OEM system before this screen, but I do gotta say that this head unit is not too bad. And with that, the responsiveness is not, it's not the most responsive like head unit, as you can see. It's not super responsive, but you know, you go to CarPlay, you can use the iDrive controller, so that's what I like to do. But yeah, with that said, as you can see, it looks pretty good. So if y'all have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. I will link the Amazon page to this in the description, and I'll try to not to forget to link the toolkit as well. And maybe if I have some time, I'll upload my logo that I made, so y'all can just drag and drop it to USB and update the logo if you want the BMW logo. But yeah, with that said, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.